I've collected several different crypto miners or crypto devices in this video that cost about $300 each, but can make you anywhere from $100 to $1,200 or more a month right now. So let me break down each of those for you right now. First up, should be no surprise, is Hivemapper. Those of you who have already been running Hivemapper, congratulations. This one has been so wild to watch. It's been awesome. Yeah, we're down 6% today, but let's zoom out, shall we? There's our 30-day. 30 days ago, this thing was under 2 cents. And now we're at almost 25 cents per honey token. So that is absolutely crazy. And it's still ranked pretty low on the crypto charts at a ranking of 482. So I still call this a smaller cap for sure at only a $65 million market cap. So what is Hivemapper? Well, maybe you've watched my videos, maybe you have one, maybe you've watched someone else's videos on these and you know what they are, but for those who don't know, I will give you the high level explanation. So in the world of mapping, we have the giant Google Maps, and with Google Maps, you have Google Street View, and maybe you've seen Google mapping with their Street View cars. They have specialized vehicles that drive around all over the place with cameras plastered all over the thing, taking photos of buildings and streets and whatever, so they can show it to you on their website. And that costs a lot of money. Those cars are super expensive. And if you wanted to start your own Google Street View competitor, it would cost you tons of money to build out your entire fleet of cars, and it would take you a super long time to actually get all the mapping data that you'd need to get started. And why would you even want this mapping data? Well, there's lots of businesses out there that want to buy and utilize these images. So there is a pretty big market for this. I would consider it very ripe for disruption, given that Google kind of has a monopoly on it. There are other players, but for small, nimble startups in this space, there is plenty of room to disrupt and take a bite out of that market share. In comes Hivemapper. So Hivemapper is a DePIN project in crypto, meaning decentralized physical infrastructure network. So they have an idea in their company. They want to build mapping data, and instead of being centralized and buying all the mapping cards themselves, they're decentralizing it by having you and me do all their work for them. But don't worry, we get a reward in the process for doing so. So if we buy one of their mapping devices, their dash cams, and we drive around the streets and they find that information and data that we collect useful, they then pay us in their honey token. So this is really a very cool idea. This is the one I have, and this is the one that most people get, the Hivemapper dashcam. It's a $300 device, and you put this into your car and then you start driving around. You connect it to the Hivemapper app, and then as it takes photos of the streets, you connect your phone to it. It pulls the photos off of the device onto your phone. Then when you're on a Wi-Fi connection later, your phone uploads those images to Hivemapper, and then they sort through them. You're going to get paid regardless just for driving. But if you're mostly driving on roads that are already really popular and well mapped and driven, you're going to get paid less than if you drive on weirder routes or routes that are less mapped. Those are going to pay you more. And of course, the more you drive in general, the more you will make. What's crazy about this right now is this device paid me, with my one single Hivemapper in our car, paid me about $625 worth of their honey tokens in the past 30 days. And we don't drive very much. There are people in my community, Sleep Money Club, that have been telling me that they drive a lot, like hundreds of miles a day, and they are making nearly $1,000 a week running this thing. On the surface, this all sounds great, and maybe even sounds too good to be true, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But I think the value proposition to you and me for running this thing makes tons of sense. And what's cool is you can actually run multiple cameras. There are people who have them like all over their car, but you could run one in your windshield facing out, looking forward. And then you can also put one in your passenger seat, aimed out the side window, capturing side view as you drive. So that's pretty rad. Now they do have two dash cams. There's the $300 one, and then there's a $650 one, the Dashcam S. Now, as far as I know, you don't actually make any more honey tokens with the more expensive one. What you get for spending more money is just a sleeker, smaller camera package, as well as some extra features like video recording. You can actually use it more like a dash cam, whereas that's a big downside to this one. You can technically, and maybe they've changed this recently, but in my experience so far, you can technically use it as like a accident camera dash cam, but it only captures at 10 FPS and it doesn't capture video files, it only captures JPEGs. And you have to actually, I don't know if you can see it here. Yeah, there's a little USB port on, no, it's not this side. There's a USB port on one of the sides that you would then plug a thumb drive into, and it only captures like 4 hours worth of images or something, and then you have to actually disconnect it, pull them off, and put it back on there. It can't continuously record. So that is a big downside if you want this as an actual like dash cam. However, I think that the money-making aspect of it more than makes that con go away. The pros far outweigh the cons in this case. But these things are crazy, crazy profitable. So let's talk about the whole like too good to be true aspect. The reason they're so profitable is simply because the price has done this. I guess the market is just kind of waking up to this project in this space. You know, several months ago when I made my first video, these devices were making between $50 to $150 per month. And that's a bit more normal, setting the expectations. You buy this thing and then it takes 3 to 6 months or a little longer to break even. But because there's still so few devices on the network globally that are all taking their share of honey tokens, you know, compared to like mass adoption, there's still a relatively small amount, and the token price has gone up so much. These are like crazy, crazy profitable. So I think this is actually a pretty legitimate company. I think it's a very solid idea. I think it fits solely in one of my favorite narratives in crypto, which is deepen. And I think this just happens to be the right moment, the right time for profitability. So I don't think this is like it's too good to be true, so have red flags kind of a situation. Now, the profitability will probably go down over time as more and more cameras come online and more people are driving and mapping. But I think the downside is pretty clear. If you buy a $300 dash cam and you don't make your money back, well, then you're out $300. And if that's a lot to you, then, you know, don't jump into something like this. But for me, $300 for a crypto dash cam thing, who cares if it goes to zero, if it's making me potentially $400 to $600 a month or more? Or some people, again, $500 to $1,000 a week, which is just mind-blowing. So I don't think this will last in that, you know, 2 years from now, you can still drive around and make $900 a week or something. But I think this will probably last as long as the price stays, you know, pretty high. But the more dash cams that come online, the more people who will be selling. So there is that to consider as well. But I think it's very clear to everybody what the opportunity is here and why I think this is a very cool thing. Plus, like, this is an actual company that has an actual product that has a real marketplace fit selling this data. So they have a place where there can be real money and revenue coming into the business. So that is a very interesting prospect to me. Now, if you do want to jump into this, there is a link in the description of this video right now. That's an affiliate link. So if you want to support me and support the channel and support me bringing more things like this to you, use that link, please. They didn't sponsor this video. This is not a sponsored video by any of these products. I just like them all. But there's also a coupon code down there that gets you 10% off. So to make you hit break even faster. But next one is doing pretty good too. And this one is called Demo. Demo is actually up today. It's at 9.3% today. But it's ranked even lower. It's at 570, so upward potential of this token is also pretty massive. It's a $50 million market cap crypto. Their chart also looks much the same. Past 30 days, it seems like everybody's suddenly woken up to that crypto exists and that maybe we should all invest into crypto or something. I don't know. But either way, I think people are waking up to crypto again, and I think people are understanding that projects like these that have real utility maybe are worth your time and effort and consideration. So let's look at Demo. Demo is really interesting in that it's also taking your car and turning it into a passive income source, but they are doing it in a very different way. They have 2 devices. I'm going to try their new one, but I have not tried that yet. But I currently am operating 2 of their AutoPis. Most modern cars, after a certain year, I don't remember when I first started introducing the diagnostic port, have a diagnostic port on them. I know that specifically Demo only supports cars that are 2008 and newer, but basically you plug this device in to your car, and it's a case, it's a housing that has a Raspberry Pi and some other stuff in it, or some other single board computer, and it starts capturing your car's data. So they capture real-time vehicle performance and health data, error scanning and diagnostics. They also track gas mileage, things like that, but they also track privatized location information. So they know the GPS location of your vehicle. That might be a little scary and go, why would I give this crypto company my, location, my information and stuff? Well, the reality is most modern cars, especially the newest of the new ones that are fully cellular connected, GPS connected, whatever, they already do all this. They data mine you to death. If you read the fine print, it's in there. And then they sell all that data without you knowing about it, unless you read, the agreement, and without giving you a dime. And what's exciting about Demo is this is the first time that you can take that data and you can kind of control it a little bit. You're still selling it. They're selling it. That's how they make money. That's their revenue source. But you are in the loop now, and they pay you for the right to use that data. So they take that data, they sell it, and you get paid in the Demo token. So this is also a $300 device. And again, there's a link to this one, same deal, as well as a coupon code in the description. And this one also, if you use the other code in the description, when you get your device and when you set up the app, if you put it in there, you will get 50 Demo tokens for free, which, what is that worth today? Almost $13 of Demo for free today. Of course, if it goes up, then it's even worth more. I think I've been making around just under $100 a month per car with this. We're not the highest level in the app. The more times you drive in a row, the higher up in the app you get in terms of levels and the more you earn. And that's the other cool thing here is this one is accessible to you to earn even if you don't drive a ton. As long as you drive every week and you don't break that chain, you will get more and more rewards over time. But I do have people that I've chatted with in my community, for example, that are earning over $100 a month with this little device. So this one, at the price where it is today, can pay for itself in 3 months or less. And of course, if you just hold all your Demo tokens and it doubles in price next month, well, then that time shrinks in half. What's really cool about both of these is they have other fits. Like if you have multiple cars, the Demo device is cool because while the GPS data is privatized to Demo, you as the owner of the device, it's not privatized, so you can actually GPS track your car wherever it is. So if someone steals your car or something, you can track your car, which is cool. But also if you do like Turo or something and you have multiple vehicles, you have a fleet of cars, one, you can now turn them all into passive income machines beyond what they currently do by renting them out. But two, if they get stolen or you don't know where your person is or whatever, you can track your entire fleet's GPS location, which is super cool. And the same thing for Hive Mapper. If you do Uber or Lyft, or you do delivery, or you work at a job where you're driving constantly, or you're going to different locations all the time, you're taking weird back roads and whatever, this could be like crazy profitable to you because you take a bunch of routes that most people don't take every single day, and therefore they're less mapped and less frequently mapped, so you earn even more money. And again, let me just repeat that, this is where we are currently with these. And this looks really good, and they're still really early, so the price can go up a lot, but it's still crypto. So, Hive Mapper is down 7% today, but we've had a few of, we went as high as 37 cents, and then it dipped down. Now we're kind of back on the upward trajectory. So it does do this, but it could go down even more than that. These companies could fail, but that's why I think this is a very interesting market segment because, again, $300 dash cam to $300 AutoPi device. For me, it's like a total no-brainer because if these companies collapse, well, then I only spent $300. Now, both of these for me have already broken even. I am far into profit on both. So I don't care if it goes, they go bust at this point, but I fully expect these to continue being companies and things over the next year at least, because we're just getting into the crypto bull run. And these are both utility driven actual companies. And I think that is is very interesting point to consider. Okay, moving on to number 3 device on this list. And let me go ahead and preface this next one, and that this is by far the riskiest one of them all. It's the second most lucrative one on this list. It's more lucrative than Demo, but yeah, let me explain what it is. ETC Proof of Work, POW, is the token used for a crypto project called ETCMC. And man, their site, they gotta work on this site. This site is rough stuff. So having read their white paper, they want to be a Ethereum Classic mining pool that's community driven, and it's powered by these nodes and stuff, and there's a DAO, and they share all the revenue and stuff like that. But then these are also Ethereum Classic nodes. And now if you were to just run an Ethereum Classic node, you wouldn't be making money, but they have like added a layer on top of that to kind of give you a reward for doing so. I classify it as high risk. Now, there are lots of people, and probably some in the comments right now, who are absolutely fanatical and love this one so much and think it's going to be, the future. And I do have some thoughts about that too. But first, let's talk about what you do with this one, how you earn money, and what it's going to cost you. Their actual devices are sold out right now, but you can get their ETCMC digital license for $250. If you buy this software license, you can now run this software to run their node launcher software on any computer you run it on, as long as it meets their requirements, which are down here. Windows 10 or 11, 4-core, 4-thread CPU, 256 gigabyte SSD, and at least 8 gigs of RAM. So you pay $250, and you either use a computer you have already, or you buy one, like I am running some of mine on these little guys, which is a link to this down in the description too. It's a $170 mini computer, and there's a $15 off coupon. But if you already have computers laying around your house, then it's only $250 to get this started. You install the software, you get your license that you buy, and you buy the license with their token. It costs 138 ETC POW, and there's a little DEX swap exchange you can use for this. You buy ETC, send it to an ETC MetaMask wallet, connect to the swap site, swap it for ETC proof of work, and then buy your license with that. Then you, again, install the software on the mini PC and connect your license to it. And then once you have to do a few settings, so you have to be a little bit tech savvy here to open a port and stuff like that. But once this thing syncs with the blockchain, then you start earning. And right now, and this is probably going to change in the near future, but right now you earn 320 ETC POW per month, which is $576 per month on a license that only costs $250. Again, this is a highly profitable crypto miner / device, because it only costs $250 and it makes almost $600 a month. But this one, I think, is by far the least established of all these. Hive Mapper, Demo, full-on real companies, websites, hire people, they're public facing, all that, have hardware devices. Then there's this website. So when I first encountered this, which was a few months ago, I think it set off a few alarms in my head. And if it's too good to be true, it probably is department. I've invested in various things that employ sketchy economics that you could maybe call even Ponzi-nomics in the past. Now, I'm not saying that that's what's happening here, but people are buying the ETC proof of work token to then buy the license to then get paid in the ETC proof of work token. However, let me give some caveats. I've been running mine for over a month now, and I have 7 ETC MC nodes, and my 7 nodes, between the computers I bought and the licenses I bought, I put half of them on computers I already had, and I bought a few computers. It cost me $2,200 to buy all that. So from the start, I'm $2,200 in the hole. If this project collapses tomorrow, that money is gone forever, which is, you should consider that before jumping into any of these. However, a month later, I've actually made just under $1,200 back. So I'm actually 50% of the way to break even already a month later because of I don't think it's actually even been a month, 3 weeks later, 2.5 weeks later. So I do want to set expectations here that the risk factor, how early this is factor, but also say that I have had positive, experience with it so far. That doesn't mean that won't change tomorrow. That doesn't mean, this won't collapse next week. The chart was not looking so good for a little while, but I will say over the past week, it has leveled out. So does this mean it's going to be on its way back up, or it's going to stay sideways? I don't know. They have released some good news about like having a DEX and stuff like that. So, there is stuff coming out, but there's tons and tons of these nodes coming online. So you just have to weigh. With any of these, ask yourself, is the money I put into it, if I'm going to miss that money, is it worth trying out with the experiment? And for me, $2,200 wasn't not a big deal, but if I was just, buying one node, especially at $250, do I care with my portfolio size, care if I lose $250 on this? No. But if you do, if that's a significant portion of your portfolio, then maybe you should listen to your gut and you should stay far away. So this is one that is, again, super early. I'm really kind of waiting for them to release more things of substance, and I'm not entirely convinced this one can sustain and survive. But I would love to be wrong, because the nodes that are behind me, right up here, plus the other ones I'm running, will end up making almost $4,500 over the next 30 days if this thing continues on as it is. So I would love for this one to work out, because that's great money, but I have no idea if it actually will or not. Moving on, and that is the Ice River KS0 Pro. These were sold out for a while, but they did just come back in stock. This one's actually outside of my promise in the title. This one's more expensive than $300, but it's still a relatively cheap miner. I don't have like a referral link, anything for this, but you can go to iceriver.io. So right now, the Ice River KS0 Pro makes about $77 per month, or about 670 CASPA per month. On 10 cent per kilowatt hour electricity, it only costs you $7 a month in electricity. So $85 of revenue, almost $78 of profit. And the cool thing is with the Ice Rivers is you can overclock them. So this one, you can actually, if you get a really good one, you can actually overclock it to 0.3 of a terahash at 130 watts, and that's a free thing you can do. And that will mean it'll make $118 a month in profit. But the real promise, and the reason I own some non-pro KS0 is just the regular vanilla KS0. And I just bought a KS3M, a big boy one, through my friends over at Musk Miners, and I run the fraction mining CASPA NFTs, is because I'm pretty bullish on CASPA into the next bull run, and I want to mine some now because I think the price is going to go up. So you can imagine if the price of CASPA were to go to $1, if you're getting 1,000 CASPA a month right now, then that's retroactively, that's $1,000 a month in CASPA. But let me go ahead and show it to you what it looks like. So that would be $996 of profit per month if CASPA in the future were to go to $1. If you mine and hold CASPA, which is what I currently do. So this device is more expensive than the other ones. It requires you to run it at your house. It does create some a little bit of heat. It uses a little bit of electricity, and it's maybe got a few more steps than the other ones. And this one, you're counting on the price appreciation of the coin CASPA. But I like these little devices. They're very quiet. You can kind of forget about them. They can just accumulate in the background, and they did just come back on for sale. So each of those could potentially make you quite a bit of money in passive income with crypto, and that's something I'm interested in, making more money with crypto. And in fact, my crypto portfolio recently crossed $1 million in value. So watch this video to see what are the top 10 crypto positions in my $1 million crypto portfolio and how I even got there in the first place. Goodbye